So here at the stove, I've had this beeswax on a slow simmer. This is the beeswax that I use, and this has been slowly heating up. I've created a double boiler type of situation by putting this Pyrex dish inside of this other dish, so I don't have my beeswax set straight onto the stove. And the reason why is I don't want to get, I do want to melt my beeswax, but I don't want to get the temperature so hot that when I add in my infused oil and my essential oils that I damage them. So this has been slowly melting, and it is totally melted now. And then I'm going to add in my olive oil that I infused over chamomile leaves for several weeks, and then I'm going to be adding in my essential oils. And you see how it makes kind of a crazy, the coldness of the infused oil makes the wax set back up, but it's gonna melt again in just a couple of minutes. So I'm putting that one in, and I'm putting my other one. I do have these pre-measured so that I'm not fumbling at the last minute. And like I said, I'm gonna allow that to go ahead and melt back, and then I'm gonna be adding in my essential oils, and I have my containers prepared already, and the oils that I'm going to be adding in is lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense. And then I also have the benefit of the chamomile that I infuse the olive oil over. So I'm just going to slowly let this melt back down, and then take it off, slightly cool it, but not to where it starts to become hard again, and then go ahead and add my oils. And then, as you see, I'm reusing containers from where I have purchased salve before, but you just want to make sure, if you're doing that, that it's a container that is safe for essential oils. And this has this number 1 on it, so that is safe for oils. And then this is my little steel container there. So just waiting for this to melt back, and you can see it's already starting to melt a little bit, but it is still a little bit firm on the outside. So I'll show you in just a minute. Wow! Filming and cooking at the same time. But I'll show you in just a minute what it looks like once the wax is melted back. Okay, so now you can see what it looks like when it's totally melted, and the wax and my infused oil are totally blended now. So I'm going to take this off the stove. Okay, and I'm just going to let that cool down just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my essential oils in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my essential oils in there. A little bit of lavender, tea tree, and the king of all oils, frankincense. Okay, so I've got my essential oils in. I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up a little bit, make sure they're evenly distributed. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour it in the dish. Let it cool. So it's kind of cool to see, because I guess my countertop is a little bit cool, but whenever the salve like hit the cool side of the counter, it started like setting up right away. You can see this one has like the protective plastic insulator, and then this one, the metal is right up against the cool counter, and it started to kind of set up a little bit. Alrighty, so I have just a little bit extra And I need to go find another container. So I had to put it back on the stove for just a minute because it was starting to set up on the edge. So if it does that, you can put it back on the stove and just put it like on a light heat. And it's gonna like melt back down. And then I just have like the littlest bit left, but I really don't want to waste it, so there's only good oils and stuff in it. So the best container to store it in would be a container where it's going to be more like airtight. But I'm out of containers, so I'm just going to use this glass baby food container and then try to use it quickly. So but you can see this is already starting to melt back down, and then I'm going to pour it into that container, and I will have herbal salve for tomorrow already. So if you guys have ever made salve before, drop a comment below and tell me what kind of salve you've made or what kind of oils you put in it. I'm really curious. There's just the tiniest little bit on the underside. So there's a lot of different recipes for salve. There's salves for muscle regeneration, muscle healing, for soreness, and then there's salves for cuts and scrapes and things like this, but this one's specifically for diaper rashes. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get the last little bit of this and then kind of tap off the bottom, make sure I don't get any water drips in my salve, and we'll see how much I had left. So not just a ton, but enough that it's probably going to be 10 to 20 diaper changes, so I definitely wouldn't want to have thrown it away. And you can see, so I just poured this one maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. You can see it's starting to solidify on the edge already. But I'll come back and show you once it's already like turned solid, but it does take a while to do that. It's funny, this is already set up and I literally poured it like 2 minutes ago. But there was such a little bit of it in the bottom. But you can see the the different stages of how it looks as it's cooling. So the salve is pretty much set up now. I'm going to touch the middle to see. Yeah, it's hardened. You can see where my thumbprint is making a print on it, but it smells great. And I guess because this one's so tall, it kind of caved in. But anyway, looks like we're all set for tomorrow. Got plenty of diaper cream and some extra to store away for later. One for my purse and one for the house and a bonus dish. That one's still slightly warm, but this one's totally cooled off. Anyway, easy breezy, all made up.